Hello, hello, hello. So we are here at LaGuardia and we are going over to Gate E to check in for Air Canada. And today we get to go to 3 different lounges. So we're gonna give you the scoop. We're gonna compare all 3. That is the American Express Centurion Lounge, the United Club Lounge, and Air Canada's Maple Leaf Lounge. So if we can get into all 3, we're gonna give you the comps and tell you which is best, which one to avoid, if any. I think they're all gonna be amazing because this is a brand new complex. Terminal B is incredible. It's one of the more modern complexes for airports in New York City. So it's gonna be really exciting and I can't wait to show you. To say right off the bat that I am extremely impressed with the American Express Centurion Lounge. It is an outstanding lounge that I would highly recommend, regardless if it turns out to be the winner or not. This is a solid lounge. It's incredible. It is spacious. There are 4 different wells of space that you can occupy. There's a business lounge area. There's a casual lounge area. There's a cafeteria area, and then there's a bar rest area. All of these 4 lounge spaces are very nice and you don't feel crammed in, you don't feel claustrophobic at all. You have beautiful views of the airport, especially the check-in where you can see some of the walled mosaic reliefs, which are incredibly well done and are beautiful. So that's really nice. I love the airy spaciousness of it. I love how accommodating it feels here. It's really a wonderful club and the layout is very good. Much better than their JFK T4 layout, I have to say. The decor is that on-brand American Express standard decor. It's kind of what I call corporate modern. It's not offensive, it's very nice. There's really nothing special about the decor, but there is a genius moment about the decor that I really like that I'll talk about when I'm talking about the people. So this lounge has a lot of people in it, but it doesn't feel crammed, which I absolutely love. It feels very spacious, and that I guess is because of how they break out the different rooms and areas. So you only feel like there's a handful of people in your space, and it doesn't feel like, oh my God, there's so many people here. So I think the layout is genius in how it really manages the crowd sizes to make you think that it's not as packed as it actually is. It's very crowded. There are a lot of people here, but it doesn't feel crowded, which is really impressive. The class of people, it seems like a decent group of people here. There are some people who are in gym wear and athleisure wear, which don't get me started, but yeah, here's the genius hack that I love about the decor. The decor is so dense and dark. It's like dark charcoals and dark navies that it actually absorbs people. So you don't necessarily notice what they're wearing because the dark colors, again, almost like absorb them. And so it really minimizes their presence, which I think is genius. Whoever came up with that idea of using dense dark colors to kind of minimize people's presence is a genius, because it really does do a great job of hiding people who are otherwise shabbily dressed, or inappropriately dressed for a lounge. So kudos to AMEX for that. The furniture also has maintained its sturdiness. You don't see a lot of wear and tear on the furniture. You don't see nicks and scratches and rub down places. It all looks very well maintained, so that's a really good thing. The restrooms, the men's rooms at least, is really clean, spacious. It's very nice. They have verbena soap. They have 3 toilets, which I think could potentially be a problem from time to time, but they also have a private restroom and a women's room. So I think, overall, it's really good with the restrooms. The food, let's talk about the food and beverage for a second. Their food is elevated. They bring a breakfast buffet, but it's elevated. And what I mean by that, they have egg whites folded in with spinach. They have roasted potatoes, baby potatoes. They have this French toast brioche bread, which is just incredible. they have fruits and they have yogurts, but it all just feels elevated to a level of luxury that I think is going to be difficult for United or Maple Leaf to match, but we'll see. The staff are outstanding. The check-in experience was outstanding. Exemplary customer service. You walk into the lounge and you smell, there's like a fragrance that just smells clean and welcoming, and I really appreciate that. Overall, this is the lounge that I would highly recommend, and it's going to be difficult for United and the Maple Leaf lounges to beat. So I'm kind of excited about what we're gonna see. I kind of don't want to leave this lounge because it's so good. But we got work to do, so let's get started. All right, so I am here at the Maple Leaf Lounge, and overall it is a very beautiful lounge. The decor is modern, it feels clean. The furniture is not worn out, it is holding up, it's good, it's spacious. The layout is very similar to the United Club in that you have that long wraparound kind of living room style. And the population sizes here are very manageable as well. It's probably less crowded than the AMEX Centurion Lounge, which is really nice. The food is not anywhere close to the standard of American Express. The eggs, I don't think were actually real scrambled eggs. They felt very crumbly. They were very difficult to eat. And all the food felt a little overcooked and just kind of tired. It did not compare to what the offering was at the AMEX Centurion Lounge. So the AMEX definitely beat the Maple Lounge on food. And decor-wise, I would say that they're at a tie. The Maple Leaf Lounge has really beautiful artwork hanging, which I appreciate. Some unique pieces scattered throughout the lounge. And again, it also feels very airy, very nice. A lot of natural light coming through. You can people watch here, which I also love, which I think is a good plus. Would I recommend this lounge? I would. If this is your only lounge option that you have, then it's going to be a good one because this is a really solid lounge. It just is not as good as AMEX Centurion's lounge. So with that though, it does feel new. It does feel fresh. They can improve their food offerings. I think that would go a long way to elevating it to where it could compete with the AMEX Centurion Lounge. But overall, it's a decent lounge. I would give it a thumbs up, and I would recommend it to people. I would not recommend it as highly as I would the AMEX Lounge. So far, the AMEX Lounge is the one to beat. The Maple Leaf Lounge right now is a solid number 2. So let's go check out the United Club. Oh wait, check this out. One of the things I love about this lounge is that you can get wraparound views. So if you really wanted to people watch, there's all these viewing areas for you to kind of enjoy that space and time. So yeah, it's a good one. All right. All right, so we are here at the United Club Lounge in Terminal B in LaGuardia. If you've seen some of my videos before, you know that I've already covered this lounge. It is an exceptionally beautiful lounge. It is very clean, very spacious. It is the only United lounge that I've ever been to that's not always packed to the gills. And that's really nice because aside from it being big, long, and airy, it also doesn't have like a flood of people running in and around and out. So it's very pleasant to be here, which is nice because the one thing that I don't really like, this is my least favorite and in terms of spaciousness and layout, is that this particular club is very elongated. It kind of wraps around the terminal gate in a very long way. And when there are a lot of people, as I imagine from time to time there are probably quite a few people, it can definitely feel very crowded and very packed in, and I don't necessarily like that feeling. So that's why I think the space layout is number 3 for me. I think the AMEX Centurion Lounge is way superior to this one in terms of layout, and even the Maple Leafs Lounge, which also has that kind of elongation factor too, also has a little bit of pockets of space that can break up that feeling of being in a huge crowd of people. The food offerings are nowhere close to the American Express Centurion Lounge offerings. They do look slightly elevated, but I have to say, of the 3, they are probably the most disappointing for me. So that was a surprise. I thought that it would be slightly better than the Maple Lounge, but they have these like trays which close and open that keep the food protected, but at the same time it can also lead to having slightly overcooked food, or food that feels very tough to eat. And that was certainly my experience when I kind of nibbled at the food offering that I had. But overall, it's really good. I mean, this is rich people problems complaining about the nitpicky stuff. If this was the only lounge that you had access to, I think that you would be very, very happy. I also have to say that the class of people here actually is higher than either of the two at the AMEX Lounge or the Maple Leaf Lounge. The class of people at the Maple Leaf Lounge was also very high. They both beat Amex in that category. I see very few people dressed super casually. A lot of people here are dressed nicely, which, if you know, counts for a whole lot. You don't want to be around a whole bunch of schlubby people. So United wins on that front. They have the best category of folks here who are nicely dressed and who are taking care of themselves, and that's really great. In terms of art decor, they have some historic photos. There's one behind me of United's legacy as an air carrier. It's okay. I mean, in terms of decor, it's very on brand with the United lounges. If you go to the ones in Chicago, they'll most likely resemble this one. If you go to them in Denver, they'll most likely resemble this one. They all have that same integrated United feeling. So you definitely feel like you're distinctly in a United lounge, which is, to say, nice. They have like touches of marble, touches of wood, touches of leather. So really nice elements, and the decor the furniture looks all brand new. It's definitely withstood heavy use, so they get an A+ for that. The one thing I do notice that it's different from the Amex Lounge is that here the colors are light. So you have tans and you have creams, and I realize that's not very good for hiding people, especially poorly dressed people. It tends to make them more pronounced, so you end up seeing people more. The eye catches more people, so it can easily feel more crowded, even though it's probably the least crowded club right now. So that's an interesting point I've noted about the decor from all the lounges. So let's do a roundup. Which club comes out on top? This is my verdict, and I have to say that I'm going to give the American Express Lounge the top spot. I think the Centurion Lounge is better than both the Maple Leaf and the United Club Lounge. So they get the gold, but the Maple Leaf comes in second and United gets the bronze. With that said though, all 3 of these clubs are outstanding. They all get A's. I would give the Maple Leaf Club an A. I would give United an A-, and I would give Centurion an A+ in terms of categories and quality and overall acceptable use. All of these clubs are exceptional in terms of using them during your travels. They all have a very, very high standard. They've risen to the occasion of Terminal B being renovated, one of the best terminals in all the United States. They certainly match that level of superior quality. So, congratulations to all 3 clubs. What do you think? Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me?